Hello and welcome to the Low Budget Review Show. I'm your host Eric Smith, and today I want to talk about Alien: Sea of Sorrows by James A. Moore. This is a sequel to Alien: Out of the Shadows by Tim Levin, officially sanctioned by 20th Century Fox. Excuse me. So, in this book, I've got some visual aids here. The main character is Alan Decker. He's an engineer and troubleshooter on planet LV-178. People are terraforming the planet, which, if there's anybody that doesn't know, they're changing it to make it more like Earth so people can live there. Basically, that's what they're doing. The problem is they've got a lot of it done. They're calling it New Galveston. But there's this spot that they refer to as the Sea of Sorrows, which is this black sand with these tubes coming up out of the ground. They believe they're made of silicone or silicon. It looks exactly like this. But the terraforming equipment won't work on it, and it seems to be expanding. So that's troublesome. They want to terraform the whole planet, and they've got this, Sea of Sorrows that's growing, causing trouble. So Alan Decker has to figure out what's causing it, how to fix it. Now, anyone who read Alien: Out of the Shadows should recognize LV-178 is the planet where that takes place. So that's what's tying these together. And so if you read that, you should know what's causing the trouble. These guys. Yep, that's right. Of course, I think the title of the book kind of gives that away as well. These guys. So, Alan Decker has to figure out what's going on. There's an accident. He has a seizure, and he ends up getting sent back to Earth. And I think, I'm not sure, not 100% sure, but I think this is the first time in the Alien-verse that we really have any substantial story taking place on Earth. I'm not counting the Alien versus Predator, because those both basically take place present day, and they both suck. The first one's not bad. I thought the second one was horrible. But anyway, this is future stuff. This story actually takes place after Aliens, the movie. And again, please let me know if I'm wrong. Point out where it might be if something takes place on Earth. I think maybe Ripley has a couple flashbacks or dreams, but other than that, I can't think of anything. But a good little chunk of the story takes place on Earth. Alan Decker gets sent back after this accident that he has. But then Weyland-Yutani, everybody's favorite evil alien corporation, rears their ugly head, and they coerce Decker into going back to LV-178 with a band of mercenaries to, Weyland-Yutani, they want to get their hands on an alien. So that's basically your setup. And it's an alien story, so things are going to go awry. I'm not giving anything away here because it's right on the back of the book. Decker is a descendant of Ellen Ripley, so that ties things together. And again, people that read the first book know that Ripley was on LV-178 in the first book. So that's the crux of the story. And it's a good story. James A. Moore, as I've said before, a fantastic writer. One of his biggest strengths, in my opinion, is his characters. And he takes his time building Decker's character. Which, you know, he could have just written just an action, horror, aliens kind of thing, which would be fine, you know, but he gives us characters that we can care about, or characters that we can want to see get their faces ripped off by an alien. Excuse me. And that's what makes these books stand out. The Tim Levin book and this book both. They're fantastic writers, both fantastic horror authors, and they bring that to the Alien franchise. Decker's an interesting character. There's a little something about him I haven't mentioned, but I'm going to leave that as a surprise. I don't think it's on the back of the book. I don't want to give it away. And there's one particular character in the book that's he's the type of character that I enjoy. His name is Manning, and he's the leader of the mercenaries that take Decker to LV-178. And what I like about him is he's a straight shooter. I don't want to say he's shallow, but he doesn't seem to have any hidden depths, if that makes any sense. You know, he doesn't have any secret agenda. Basically, when dealing with Decker, he's like, look, I've got no problem with you. You're a resource. I want you to do your job. We'll get along fine. But if you get in my way, I'll take you down. No malice. Just very straightforward. This is the way it is. Manning has a job to do. He's going to do it. He's going to take care of his people. He'll take care of Decker as long as that doesn't become a detriment to the mission. And I just like that kind of character that's that straightforward. There are other characters I was actually surprised. I thought one of the characters was going to turn out to be an android. But apparently I was wrong. I just kept waiting for that scene that would reveal that this character wasn't what I thought they were. But so I guess it's kind of a surprise to me that they weren't an android, since I was expecting it. Weyland-Yutani is a big presence in this, and of course it seems that everybody works for them is just a bastard. You know, they all have their agendas, and they're the opposite of Manning. They're not even two-faced, they're four-faced. They're telling this group of people this thing, and they're telling somebody else something else, and they're keeping other things inside that they're not telling anybody, because they've got to have their whole card, just in case things don't go their way or somebody's gonna take them out. They're gonna pull out that card and be like, you could take me out, but then this is gonna happen. Just a lot of weaseling, evil corporation stuff. It's how Weyland-Yutani is. They just want an alien, and they'll do whatever they can to get it. So, James A. Moore's got all this stuff going on, as well as just lots of alien mayhem. And he adds a little bit to what Tim Levin established in Alien Out of the Shadows, as far as what is going on LV-178. The third book, River of Pain, I have to look. Yes, Alien River of Pain by Christopher Golden comes out in November. So I don't know if that's going to carry on LV-178, if that's the connecting tissue of the books. Have to wait and see. But it's Christopher Golden, so I assume it's going to be another fantastic book. There are authors that seem to make their living writing media tie-ins. Nothing wrong with that. Some of them are very good at it. But I like to see what's essentially a horror, well, science fiction horror franchise. I think the first movie is definitely a horror movie. The second one, Aliens, is more of an action movie with a slight horror element because the xenomorphs are horrific. But anyway, I like to see these horror authors being brought in to write these. Not to put down the people that make their living writing media tie-ins. And this isn't the first time any of these authors have written media tie-ins. I think the first James A. Moore I read was either a Buffy the Vampire Slayer book or one of the books that he wrote for White Wolf Publishing. I think Christopher Golden, maybe the first book I read was either a Buffy or Hellboy novel. You know, I want to say it was the Hellboy, and that got me to read his other stuff. Tim Lubin, I think, is the only one who I was reading his horror books first. But anyway, so we're getting off track here from this particular novel, which is what I'm supposed to be talking about. I love those. Oh, they're my favorite alien creatures. There's just something beautiful about them. Yes, they're horrifying, but they're beautiful in their horrorness. So this is the fourth review I've done of a James A. Moore book, which is definitely the most I've done for any author so far, and it's the second time I've done two in a row. The reason for that is the last book that I reviewed and then this book are both sequels. I wanted to get the reviews done and out there. I'm a little slow. This book came out in July, but so much stuff to read. Got to it as quickly as I could. But that should tell you something about James A. Moore as a writer, that I've reviewed that many, and you know, they're all fantastic. So, oh, I should have mentioned that this book, you don't have to have read the first book to read and enjoy this book. You're not going to be lost or confused by what's going on. You should read the first book because it's a great book and it does tie in. But you don't have to. Why you wouldn't, I don't know. So, and of course I look forward to reading the third one. Excuse me. So yeah, another standout book by James A. Moore. Another great alien tie-in from Titan Books. And I'll put a link for this book and the first book in the description. If you have any question, comments, or corrections, please put them in the comments down below. I think I covered everything. Great characters, well written, lots of alien action. LV-178. Visual aids. I think that's it. Pick it up, read it. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love hearing from people, their thoughts on the reviews and on the books, whether they're positive or negative. And until next time, read more books.